control.
I got a cute face, chubby waist, thick.
Yo, I'm coming on here with my hair messed up. I look a hot mess. Wait a second. It's 6:47. And I'm finna get in the bed. I'm about to take my antibiotics because for the day. This is what I was put on when I was in the hospital. So I'm about to take it right now. I have to sit up longer and I just got back home. It already was hard for me to get out the car. I'm hurting so bad. Alright, it's time to get in the bed and lay down. It's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna try to get in here and lay down as easily as possible, but I'm in a lot of pain. So okay. Oh, my hair. Alright, you guys. Sorry I had to come on here looking like this. Sorry I came on here just with all of this. But I just got back home. The last 2 or 3 days, I have been dealing with so much pain from my palatal cyst and HS and other areas as well. If you don't know me, my name is Alyssa. I go by Alyssa. On this channel, I make videos about HS, mental health, motivation, inspiration, and just most of all, just positivity and faith as well. And I mentioned this in my last video, but about almost going on 4 weeks ago, a month ago, I was like hospitalized for my HS. It was very painful, and now I'm going through another round of pain with my HS. I think it's because of my menstrual. I don't really know for sure. It might be because I have been going through some stuff with that. But I'm in so much pain. So much pain. It's bad. So I'm gonna try to rest. I will link some videos down below if you don't know what HS is, but basically I'm gonna briefly explain it real quick. It's where you get boils and lesions and open wounds all over your body in areas that have folds or sweat glands or hair follicles. So under your arms, your breasts, your groin, and your buttocks. That's gonna be TMI for some people, but that's where you get it. And it's super duper painful. So I'm just trying to document what I'm going through and to show you guys what it's like in a real day in the life going through HS. It's the evening right now. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. It's going on 7 o'clock in the evening. So yeah, I haven't done nothing all day. I've been sleeping all day. I haven't done nothing. I just got through eating dinner. Oh, I just took my medicine. Oh my god, I'm not supposed to lay down, y'all. I'm not supposed to lay down. Okay. 1 second. I wasn't supposed to lay down. Because when your medicine, you're supposed to like stand up for at least 10 minutes. Let me fix my hair because I look a hot mess. Maybe I can try to fix it. I don't know. Let me do something to this mess. Okay, that's a little better. I have a headband, but I don't feel like putting it on my head because it's gonna hurt my head. But I'm gonna stand up with y'all for 10 minutes. Maybe until 6:05. It's 6:53 right now. I mean 7:05. I'm tired. I need to lay down. That's why I lay down so easily, because I'm tired of standing up. But I know I'm not supposed to lay down when I'm on this antibiotics that I'm on. So yeah, it's been a tough week for me last few days. I will explain more in this video maybe tomorrow, because tonight is not gonna be, it's seeming like it's not it. So I might explain more about my doctor's appointments and who I saw earlier this week. but it's been a tough road. It's been tough this week. So that's all I wanted to say, and I'm taking y'all on this journey with me with my HS. I'll explain more what I'm going to be doing within these next few videos or these next few clips, because this is tough and it's a lot. So see y'all in the next clip. Alright y'all, so I just want to hop on and say I am feeling a little bit more better. My polinosis, the boil that was on like my tailbone, I'm gonna get more into that within this video, sometime within this video, but it burst and it is still trying to do its thing, but I'm still in a lot of pain. But I'm gonna try my best to make it to Walmart today with my mom and sister. So I'm gonna go shopping for a few things because I'm doing some stuff with my room. So yeah, just want to hop on here and say that I am feeling a little bit better. As you can see, I'm dolled up and, you know, ready to go. I was able to get myself ready a little bit, you know, brush my teeth, get my hair ready, and do some things, you know. But I am feeling a little bit better. So I look a little bit better. I look more alive, you know. So yeah, so I'll see you guys when I get to Walmart. But I just wanted to hop on here and let you guys know that I am feeling better, and I am feeling a little bit upbeat than how I was yesterday, because yesterday was a hard day for me. But I will explain what actually happened later on within this video. I don't know if I want to explain it today. Today is kind of like a busy day for me, so I might explain it later on sometime throughout this whole entire video itself, because this video itself or YouTube video is basically living with hidradenitis suppurativa. But later on in the next clips, I will try my best to explain what actually happened. If not, then I have it written on the screen of what's been going on, and I will let you guys know what's been like going down with me. So yeah, I just want to hop on here and let you guys know that your girl feels good. Yeah, just good. I feel like 75%. I could be better, but 75 to 80%, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. So yeah, see you guys when I get to Walmart. Goodness, as you can see, I got my hair tied up because I am tired. I didn't get to vlog in Walmart because it was so crowded. I didn't feel like pulling out the camera inside of Walmart. That's just, it was not it. It wasn't given. So I am just about to rest right now at this point, because I am still in a lot of pain. Like, I guess for me riding a car, I am in so much pain. But y'all, I'm about to get ready to go to the restroom, get all cleaned up, get relaxed, and I might update you guys later. I did not know, because that was a long Walmart trip, and your girl can barely, I'm trying to catch my breath right now. So at the end of the day, I'll catch up with y'all later. Maybe you'll see me tomorrow, maybe not. Tomorrow's gonna be a rest day, you know, it's a Sunday, so I'm just gonna relax and yeah, keep y'all updated as I go along throughout maybe next week. I don't know if it's gonna be a weekend of life starting, because I started yesterday, that was Friday, so I don't know if I'm gonna prolong this until next week, or I'm just gonna keep it at just a few days in next week. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but at the end of the day, just gonna show you guys going forward what it's like to live with HS and update you guys on everything. And like I said before, I will update you guys on what really happened yesterday, because yesterday was a struggle, and it still is a struggle right now. But I'm gonna be chilling right now, so catch up with y'all later. Alright, what's up you guys, it's Lisa here, back with another video. Whoa, back here with another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be telling you guys, this gonna be like a real just talk, like motivational talk, or just a regular talk through video about my condition that I deal with or suffer from, which is hidradenitis suppurativa. I know a lot of people who come to my channel to see a lot of content about this condition and who suffer from this condition just in general. So I really want to help people and give some, not only encouragement, but to give awareness about this condition on my channel as much as possible. So that's what this video is going to be about, basically the truth about living with hidradenitis suppurativa. That's going to be the title of this video. But before I get into the video, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe for some bonfire and lit content. Okay? and let's get right into this video. Alright y'all, so I'm all cozy up. I got my blanket and I just have some topics on my phone to talk about within this video. So we're going to be talking about stereotypes when it comes to this condition, stigmas, pain, mental health, just things that, and I'm going to be explaining my condition in my story as well briefly real quickly, so let me do that real quickly. So the title of this condition, or the name of this condition, is Hidradenitis Suppurativa, and it's very hard to pronounce, but that's how you pronounce it, and it's also known as HS. HS is a skin disease or skin condition, an autoimmune condition. Basically it's where the autoimmune condition, first of all, is where the body attacks itself. Basically the body is like going through a moment or a phase or time where it just wants to it shows out on your skin. And what I mean by that, let's say I eat something, which I'm going to get into within this video as well. If I eat something that's out of the ordinary, dairy is one thing or sugar is one thing. I'm gonna say sugar because sugar is my main culprit. And basically when I eat sugar, it shows out on my skin. Almost like when you have acne, it says if you drink a lot of soda, then the acne will come out on your skin. You will have more bumps on your skin, almost like that. So basically that's what hidradenitis suppurativa is, except it shows up on more parts of your body. So it shows up in areas that have hair follicles, so underneath your armpits, underneath your breasts, your groin, and your buttocks. I know it's kind of TMI, but that's where it pops up at. And the boils, they are like pea-sized to like humongous boils. Like I've had plenty of boils like the size of an egg. That's how big they can get, or bigger. And I've heard that sometimes people can get them on their necks or on their back, like the upper part of their back. And I also have one on my back, my lower part of my back, called a colloidal cyst. It's very painful. I was actually hospitalized for HS. If you watched my last video, my Get Ready With Me, I was actually hospitalized for my condition due to the infection in the line of the boil somewhere. You know, I was actually hospitalized for HS recently, and I've been hospitalized for HS plenty of times before. So let's start by beginning my story. I've had HS since around the age of 11, maybe 10, 11, or 12 years old. It started out briefly, but it wasn't as bad. Now it's extremely bad. Like, I got diagnosed at the age of 16 when I had one underneath my left arm, and basically it was a big boy, like I said, like almost the size of an egg. They were going to do surgery on it, but it ruptured on its own, which is a good thing. But at the same time, it's still very, very like it's no cure for this disease. That's one thing I want to say too, is that there's no cure for HS. So that's one thing that's hard, that we struggle with in general. And then also too, going forward, it was very hard for me in general, like in high school, middle school and high school. I still played sports up until the age of 16 when I had that, and I still try to enjoy myself, but I stopped playing sports and I stopped doing my everyday activities due to my condition. So my senior year, I could barely do things. I got accepted to multiple colleges, was not able to go off due to my condition, so I had to do school completely online from home. And it was very hard for me just in general to deal with this condition as itself. So going on to my college year, you guys probably know my story. I will link some videos down below about this, but basically this condition and just other things as well, because you know with your mental health, it can affect your mental health very, very severely. It can affect your mental health severely. So like things like anxiety and depression can play a role when you are dealing with HS. So in 2019, well, let me start from here. From 2018 to 2019, I was pretty much bedridden. I remember doing my schoolwork literally in bed, like holding a laptop literally on my lap. Wasn't sitting up though, but trying my best to just do homework and do exams on my laptop while in bed. And I was pretty much bedridden from 2018 to 2019. Now later on in 2019, that's when I had my 3 suicide attempts, which I'm not going to get into within this video, but I will link some videos down below about my story when it comes to that. But HS did play a role when it came to my mental health. So ever since then, it's been pretty rough. In the beginning of this video, I will include some clips of me recently last weekend. I've been dealing with major flares. For me to be sitting up right now in bed right now recording this video is just amazing, because I'm feeling up to it right now and I'm feeling better. But for the most part, I still struggle with these flare-ups, and I've been trying to find a surgeon and a doctor. Plenty of doctors say they can't do anything. That's what I want to say. I've been to plenty of doctors. I've been to infectious disease. I've been to a surgeon. I've been to dermatologists. I've been to hematology. I've been to let me see, gastroenterologist. I've been to so many different doctors I can think of to try to help me with this condition, but a lot of them say they can't do anything. I've been to wound care as well. So that's pretty much my story when it comes to HS. And if I look down, sorry, I'm looking at my phone. But yeah, like I said, I got a diagnosis in 2016 and when I was 16 years old, and from there it's just been a struggle ever since. It's been a struggle ever since. And then one thing I want to say is that there, which I'm going to explain more, but there said there's no specific cause for HS. It doesn't mean it's hereditary, and I'm going to get through more within this video, but you can't spread it. Like, it's no reason, no specific reason as to why it can come. Now, there are specific reasons, which they say, like food, stress, and like certain types of food, and stress, that can actually trigger HS. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about within this video is the myths, stereotypes, and stigmas. So the first thing that I want to say within this video is that just because we have HS does not mean that we are not clean. That is a lie. It's not true at all. That does not mean that we're not clean. Now, honestly, a lot of people may think that if you have HS, oh, you're not clean enough, you don't clean your body, that's why you're getting these boils everywhere because you're dirty. No, that does not mean that. These boils can come out of nowhere for no reason. Like I said, it could be from what we eat, or it can be from stress, you know, because it is linked to and also called acne and bursa. So, you know, that's what it can be linked to, but there is no specific thing that is basically can cause HS. Like, it doesn't mean that we're not clean. So if you think that about yourself and you have HS, then you can get that out of your head, because at the end of the day, that is not true. You are clean enough. Get that in your mind that you are. It's not because you're not clean. The second thing I want to say is that we look okay, but under our clothes, we are not. We are not okay. So, like right now, I look just fine. I have on my comfy shirt. I'm sitting up in bed. I look fine, but under my clothes, I'm covered in gauze, covered in tape and gauze and sanitary napkins and whatever you want to call it. I'm covered in all of it. All of it. So at the end of the day, do not think that just because we look okay, or because or other people, I want to say, and not to bash anyone, I'm just saying though, we look okay on the outside, but under our clothes we are dealing with so much pain. We have open wounds, we have boils, and we're dealing with a lot. Bleeding, bursting, rupturing, whatever you want to call it, we're dealing with a lot. So under our clothes, it's just scary. That's how I like to describe it. It's scary what we deal with our skin. And I know that there are other skin diseases out here that a lot of people deal with, but I'm just saying, like, just because it doesn't show like on the outside of like how we look now, or like for use me for example, like how I look, does not mean that there's nothing wrong. Like, trust me, we deal with this condition. We're in a lot of pain just because, like, for example, and I've dealt with this before, if I decide to go to an amusement park and I need a wheelchair, I look fine, but oh, you look fine, you're walking fine, why do you need a wheelchair? No, I need a wheelchair because of my HS, and I shouldn't have to explain myself. Like, we shouldn't have to explain ourselves when it comes to this. Like, honestly, like, if you need a wheelchair to walk around, I mean not walk around, but if you need a wheelchair to, you know, be able to function, that is okay. That is okay. Like, you should have to explain yourself. So at the end of the day, like, we need a wheelchair because of our condition, and you know, it's hard for us to walk long distances. It's hard for us to be out in the heat for too long. It's hard for us to, you know, maybe breathe differently. I know I deal with that, you know, because sometimes you get out of breath easily. There's so many different reasons why. The third thing is that it can happen to anyone at any age. HS has been known to happen to young adults, but it can happen to anyone at any age. Anyone at any age, it doesn't matter how old you are, HS can happen. I heard HS happening to 2-year-olds, like babies. Like, can you just think about that? Like, that just, like, my heart like breaks. Like, I cannot believe that 2-year-olds can deal with HS. Like, you know, like, that's painful for a little kid to deal with. And I know me dealing with that as a teenager, you know, that was tough for me in general, because I want to enjoy life. But a 2-year-old, all they want to do is play all day, and they can barely do that because of, you know, they're dealing with HS. So that's just like, it's kind of tough, you know. The fourth tip I want to talk about is similar to the first one. That does not mean that we're not clean, is that it cannot be transmitted. Like I said, it cannot be spread. So it can't be sexually transmitted, it cannot be spread, none of that at all. Like, it does not mean that you're not clean, or that you can like transfer it to someone else. Like, you don't want to touch it. Like, of course, when, let's say you have a caregiver, tell them to be careful, put on gloves when they're helping you and whatever, this and that. But just because, like, we have boils does not mean that, oh, I can't touch you, or oh, I can't be around you. Like, no, it's not that. Because most of the time, it's not a line of infection. HS does not mean that there's a line of infection. Most of the time, there isn't. It's just a skin disease. Literally, it does not mean that there's a line of infection. It's just like a pimple, like, but a bigger pimple, you know, if you get where I'm coming from. So it does not mean that there is a line of infection at all when you're dealing with HS. Trust me, like, when I went to the hospital recently, they could not find a line of infection. I mean, there was infection somewhere, but they couldn't literally find it. Luckily, when they put me on the antibiotics, it helped to lower my fever, which I will get into more in another video soon. But it just knows that most of the time there isn't a line of infection. The fifth one that I want to talk about is how providers and physicians can say that they have seen worse. Like, and yes, that can be true in some different areas, but of certain people, like, that can be true for some people. But at the end of the day, I believe that if you say your HS is worse and you say your HS is bothering you to a physician, they should listen. They should listen, and they should be like, okay, like, you know, like, I mean, I've met some physicians, and, you know, I believe that there are some physicians out here who truly care. But of course, if you live in a certain area, insurance, all that plays a role when it comes to your health. So I understand that fully on fully. Like, I understand it. I deal with it, so we all deal with it, you know. So, but at the end of the day, I do understand where physicians are coming from. But if you are expressing and, you know, pushing the fact that your HS is really, really bad, I feel like they should listen. So some physicians say, oh, I've seen worse, or oh, you're fine, or oh, it's not that bad. You know, I take that personal a little bit, and I get a little offended, because I think that, you know, some physicians think that you are just maybe putting on. Most physicians out here don't even know about this condition. They're not educated on it because it's so new, and it can be rare, but I don't believe that it's that rare or that new. I believe people have it, they just don't know that they have it. That's usually how it is. That's how it was with me. I didn't get diagnosed until I was 16 years old. So at the end of the day, some people know they don't know they have it, and they just find out later in life. It's because a lot of physicians aren't educated on it, so they don't really get a diagnosis, like I said, until like years and years later. So at the end of the day, back to what I was saying about the physicians, I'm saying that it is seen worse is the fact that they don't see it active. Just because they don't see a boil active does not mean that it's not that bad. So that's why I want to say too, that's a stigma as well, or a stereotype, or a myth as well. Just because you don't see anything similar to what I said about the clothes, just because of that does not mean anything. Like, because you see a boil and it's not rupturing does not mean that it's not painful. It does not mean that it's not that bad. It is bad, you know. So that's kind of what I want to say as well. Alright, so moving on to the pain level. Okay, the first thing I want to say is like the pain slash the size of the boil. So I'm gonna read off like my phone what I wrote down and what I'm gonna tell you about this boil, about boils So there can be stinging, itching, poking, throbbing, like it can be like shocking pain. Shocking pain. It's that bad. Like, it's really that bad. So I just know, like, I'm dealing with a boil right now that just kind of ruptured in the area of my body, and it's so painful. It was so painful last night. I could barely sleep. But I'm going to get into this video about what happens when you can barely sleep. Like, honestly, like, the pain is so bad. Like, you can barely move, barely walk, like, can barely do anything. Like, it can affect your ability to do daily activities, like so many different daily activities, like cooking, cleaning, going to the bathroom, sleeping at night, lifting things, reaching for things in the cabinet, whatever you want to say, like, or think of. It's just so painful how bad this condition can be and get to. I know people who have been, like I said, in wheelchairs, not only just because like they get in there, like when they go to like an event or go out. Yes, that's normal, but people who like literally are like bedridden, like how I was a few years back, and there are people who are literally like dealing with like so much. And you know, I pray for them, and I pray for if you're watching this video, that you would understand that there is hope. And that's one thing I want to say within this video, that there is hope. I know I'm rambling a lot about this condition. It's a lot of information, but I'm just trying to spread the awareness, and I want you to understand that there is always hope. But honestly, like, you can't walk for long distances lifting your arms, you know, it hurts to turn or move a certain way. And another thing too, air. Like, for example, like if I get out the shower and I get through, you know, cleaning or whatever, this and that, if cold air, this air just in general hits the boil or the wound, that thing hurts. It stings and it burns. And it's like really like air, like really like air blowing, like this air anywhere. Like, yes, air can literally hurt the wound. It stings and it hurts so bad. It's like I cringe because I know the feeling of that. It's really bad. Like, it's so uncomfortable to sleep. Even last night, like I had like, when you turn a certain way, when I get in the bed in general, which you probably saw in the clip at the beginning of the video, literally when I have to get in the bed, I have to flop down. Like, I can't just get in the bed normally. I have boils in certain areas that I can't really lay down on my arm, or lay down on this side, or lay down on that side. I can't really lay on my back because I have a palatal system, whatever you want to call it. That's how bad it is. And then the bleeding from the wounds is so terrible. Like, anything that can nick the wound, like if you wear tight clothing, if you wear tight shirts or pants or shorts, whatever it might be, that's how painful it can be. That's how painful it can be. So at the end of the day, like, it's really bad. Like, it can be uncomfortable to sit down. Like, I'm probably gonna pay for this later. Like, sitting up in the bed right now with my legs like crisscross applesauce, like, I'm gonna pay for this. But I'm doing it because I want to get the awareness out. But at the end of the day, I'm probably gonna pay for this. Like, whew. And like, showers are the worst. Showers are the worst. Like, when the water hits the wound, not only air, like I said earlier, but when water hits the wound, it stings, it shocks you, it hurts, because like, it's like something touching it. Even though it's just water, it's like, if you have a shower head that's like goes out too hard. I've been to hotels that some are softer, but like if you have a shower head, or if you go to a hotel and the shower comes out like pressure, like so hard, the water comes out hard, it's gonna hurt. It hurts. Like, it hurts in general. Then you have to wash the wounds gently. It's a lot. And then the fatigue is crazy. Like, if you get tired easily, like how I do, the fatigue is crazy. Like, it's so uncomfortable when you get tired easily. You can barely like function throughout the day. Like, you may sleep more, you might, you know, lay down on the bed all day because you're always so tired. Like, it's just no telling like what you might deal with when it comes to this condition, just in general. Like, the pain levels are out of control, and it's so painful. Literally, the blood, sweat, and tears, literally, like, you crying 24/7 because you're in so much pain. Like, literally, where I get major boils from either when I eat something, or because I'm flaring around my menstrual, or whatever you want to call it, it's super painful, let me tell you. And I dealt with a boil recently. That's what I was talking about within the beginning of the video. I tell you, like, my boils, when they rupture that big like that, or when they rupture bigly and then eventually burst, it lasts, the pain literally lasts for like a week or two, or a week and a half at least. And I'll be literally bedridden for days and days. All I can do is go to the bathroom, take a shower, and go back to bed. That's all I can do, is lay in the bed and sit in the bed all day. I can't sit up, I can't barely walk, I can barely do this, I can barely do that. Like, I can barely do anything. And the pain literally weighs you down. So if you get a boil in an area, whether it's on your thigh, whether it's on your arm, whether it's in other areas, like, it weighs you down. You can barely do anything. Like, you literally feel like it's almost like it sucks the life out of you. Like, you just feel so sick, you feel so tired, you feel so weak, and it's like, oh my goodness, like, it's that terrible, you know. Like, when I say it weighs you down, let's say you're walking and you have a boil somewhere, or you're standing up, you literally feel like you're about to fall down. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, your body just feels like it's about to just like droop, like that. That's how I feel in general. I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but that's how I feel. So yeah, the fatigue is really, really bad, and the boils and the pain, all of that is just terrible. Like, it's hard to deal with, and my heart goes out to anyone else who's dealing with this as well, because we go through a lot. All right, so the next part of this video I'm going to talk about is mental health. So I briefly touched on mental health within this video a little bit, but not too much. But this is going to be the section of the video I talk about mental health. So the fact that there is no cure for this disease, and the fact that there is not that many amounts of medication. I mean, there's medication out here for it. People use different medications out here for it, but it's almost like it's a band-aid, you know. And I know there are a lot of people out here who have put this condition into remission, which is really, really, I'm open to anybody. You know, if you have some things down below, then you can comment some things down below. But there are some people who have put their condition into remission. I'm on my journey to that. You know, I'm trying my best, but I am not perfect. I still eat junk food. I try my best to get as much water in as possible, but I still eat junk food. I'm still trying my best. But one thing I can say is that I'm trying my best not to let this condition get to me, and I will get that later on in this video. I want to say this, do not let this condition take over. Do not let this condition get to you mentally, emotionally, like physically. I know that it's hard to, you know, say don't let it get to you physically, but like, if you can, try your best to stay as positive as possible and never give up. Never give up. Like, keep going, keep striving, keep believing, keep having hope. Keep believing for hope. Keep believing for a cure. There's something out there that can help us out here. There's something out here that can help us. Hope is possible. With God, all things are possible. And I'm going to give you some encouragement at the end of this video, but I just want to say that because I know that some people out here who may be watching this video who think that, oh my goodness, like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. And I feel like this pretty much on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, we are going to get through it. But back to what I was saying about no cure, it's just that can be tough on your mental, because you just feel like, you know, what is there out there for me? Like, these doctors figure that may not know what to do. I've been to doctor to doctor, and they tell me all the time there's nothing that we can do. I've been to doctor appointments recently. They tell me it's nothing that they can do. So it's like, oh my goodness, like, where do I go from here? But I have faith in God that God's going to lead me and guide me to where he's going to help me, to lead me to different physicians and different things to help me with this condition. But at the end of the day, I just know that there's something out there for us with HS, and I really want to get the awareness out and help many people who have this condition. The next thing I want to talk about is depression. Now, depression and anxiety itself can mess with you, and it messes up. But you can be depressed because you feel like you're not as confident. You might be ashamed. You might be scared to wear certain clothing, which I want to talk about first. So like, you may not be able to go, but we're not able to go swimming. We're not able to, you know, wear certain clothing. So we can be a little depressed about that. And sometimes we have scarring. Let's say you have surgery and you have like scarring or whatever you want to call it. Like, I know that a lot of us are afraid to wear certain clothing, or if you wear comfortable clothing like how I do, then you might be a little afraid to, you know, maybe walk around comfortably, confidently. I have a video on confidence with how you're gonna do with people. I will link that down below. But at the end of the day, be confident, love yourself, love who you are. Like, it's about what's on the inside, not the outside, first of all. So make sure that you love yourself just for you, and then love the body that God gave you. Love the body that you know that you are in. Like, honestly, like, you gotta love yourself, love who you are, wear what you want to wear, do your hair a certain way, you know, wear makeup, do whatever you want to do to make yourself feel cute or whatever, this and that. You know, honestly, just, you're beautiful just the way you are. You are beautiful, you are wonderful, you are amazing, you are phenomenal, you are everything to God. Like, you are everything to this world. You are a blessing to this world. Do not think that you aren't worthy, that you aren't enough. Like, no, you are worthy and you are enough. Please believe that. And back to depression, I know that can be hard, like when you like bedridden. Like, I've been through depression, and it's tough when you're bedridden, and you know, when you're literally bedridden and you can barely do anything. It's hard to, you know, be like, oh, I want to go hang out with friends or family or events. I missed so many events just because of my condition. I missed out going to college. Like, bruh, like it was so hard. Like, honestly, like, it takes a toll on your mental when you're going through it. Now I look back at it, I'm okay now, and I'm thankful that I got through it. But at the end of the day, positivity is key. And what kept me going through it is God. God had my back, and he helped me through it. And he has a plan for all of us. All of us have our own journey in life, and we're going to get through it. So at the end of the day, like, I know that depression can be hard because you feel like, you know, you want to go out and hang out with people, but you can't because you're conditioned, or you're dealing with a boil or pain, or you feel like you want to do this and that, but you can't really do it. You want to exercise, you want to try to get fit, but you can't really exercise, you know. And sometimes too, but eating right, it's hard to eat right. So at the end of the day, you can get depressed because you're like, I want to eat right, but it's hard for me to have discipline. I don't know how I'm gonna get through it. And one thing that I've heard my mom say is that when you get sick and tired, you get sick and tired. So basically, and that's not to, no, my heart goes out to you if you're struggling with discipline, trying to eat right, because I still struggle with it. I still eat junk food. I'm still trying to change myself. So at the end of the day, like, if you're struggling trying to eat right, don't beat yourself up. Do not beat yourself up. Like, you are literally human, and you're gonna have days when you're gonna be like, you know, I want to crave that cookie, or I want to crave those potato chips, I want to crave that fast food, I want that McDonald's, whatever it might be. Like, you gotta be, discipline takes a lot of work. It's your journey. Healing takes work. So at the end of the day, don't beat yourself up about that. But let's say, but I've dealt with, you might be a little depressed because you feel like you can't eat right, and you may try to eat right, or there's a lot of foods out here that you can't have. Maybe you are on your journey and you are trying to avoid different foods, like how I'm trying to do right now as well. Even though I do still eat certain foods that I'm not supposed to eat, but I'm trying to weigh myself off of that and start eating really healthy. But at the end of the day, if you are trying to, like I said, wave yourself off of the junk food, it's hard because, like, you know, I can't have this food, and everybody's out here, you know, eating certain foods and eating these, you know, exotic foods, and I can't have that. You know, I can't have those types of foods. I have to eat completely clean and all this and that. Like, it's very hard. But like my mom said, when you get sick and tired, you get sick and tired, and you want to change for you. Like, you have to change for you. And that's how I look at it, is that I'm eating for my health. I'm eating for me. I'm eating so that way I can heal properly, you know. And it's hard to get a mindset like that, because I'm still trying to get my mindset just like that. But eventually you will get the mindset of, you know what, I'm gonna eat clean because I want to eat clean, and I want to eat clean for my condition. And I remember just like laying in bed plenty of days, like back in, I guess, 2018, 2019, I would just dream of wanting to do different things and hang out with people, and just, I still dream to this day, because it's still hard for me to get out and do different things, but I would just dream of different things I want to do. And it's hard because I have this condition and all this and that, but just know that there is hope and God is by your side. Like, you're gonna get through this. And I want to do this really quickly. which I want to say is what I would like others, or what we as people who have HS or hidradenitis suppurativa would like others to know. So this is from my perspective, and just how I would want other people to know, whether it's a caregiver or someone close to you who's trying to help you, a friend, whoever you may maybe want to, you know more about HS. So the first thing I would want a person to know is that just because we are young doesn't mean that we don't need help. So this is not geared towards anyone, I'm just saying this in general. Like, a lot of people may think that, because this goes back to the stigmas and the myths. I've dealt with this before plenty of time. People think that because I'm young that I don't need help with things and I can move around. I'm young, I'm not really up there in age, so I can move around. I look okay, like I said, but at the end of the day, no, like, it shouldn't matter. Like, if you need help with some things, you shouldn't have to explain yourself. You just say, oh, I need help with this, I need help opening this, I need help to use the restroom. I shouldn't have to explain myself. But I know that some people may want to know, and then some people may just not want to help. But at the end of the day, like, just try your best to stay positive if you are dealing with that, because I've dealt with that plenty of times before. But stay positive and just know that in life it's okay to ask for help, and that goes for mental health and physical health. It's okay to ask for help, and I feel like there shouldn't be a stigma around those things at all. There shouldn't be a stigma. Like, if you need help, it's okay. You shouldn't have to explain yourself. You shouldn't have to go through a whole bunch of different barriers just to ask for help. Another thing I would like other people to know when it comes to HS is that we really cannot do things on our own sometimes. We really can't. Like with this cooking, using the restroom, taking a shower, cleaning, whatever it might be. Like, sometimes it's really hard. Like, we can't do a lot of things on our own, and we shouldn't have to. I mean, yes, it's okay for us to ask for it, which is what we're supposed to do, but at the end of the day, we shouldn't have to go, like I said, through barriers just to get for help. Like, I feel like we should. I want other people to know that we need help with those things, those simple tasks that may look so simple as picking your shoe up off the floor, or tying your shoe, or putting on a necklace, or whatever it might be. Like, those simple things hurt. Like, I used to not be able to put on a necklace. Like, it used to be hard for me to lift my arms and go around like that because I have boils underneath my arms, and it's very hard. Like, it was very hard, you know, asking someone, can you put this on for me, can you pick this up the floor for me? Or some people just, like, they look at you with a strange look, like, really? But no, we're serious. We're really serious when we ask you, can you help us with simple tasks? So that's what I want people to know. Driving as well. I want to say driving, like, some people cannot drive when it comes to you know, HS. I don't drive, but at the end of the day, that's one thing too that we struggle with as well. And another thing too is that we're trying our best. That's what I want people to know, is that we're trying our best. We're trying our best to get through it. We're trying our best to be mentally strong. We're trying our best to be physically strong. And we're trying our best to just push through life and keep on going. Like, we are trying our best to get through it. We're trying our best. So I want people to know that, you know, we're doing our best. We're not trying to sit here and just soak and be sad. Like, we're not trying to sit here just to soak and just not do anything. You know, HS can, like I said, can have you bedridden. I was bedridden for a while. So at the end of the day, it's very hard to deal with this condition. It's very hard. And the last thing I want to say is, to anyone out there, whether you're a caregiver, whether you have HS, whether you are a friend or a parent or whoever it is, us with HS, from my experience, what I've seen people talk about just in general, we just want compassion and support, and just for people to be there for us as much as possible. That's pretty much all we want. We're not asking for anything major or anything. Like, these people looking at my phone, but we're not asking for anything major. We literally just want support and love, compassion, and just for someone to care for us. Like, not care for us, like, of course we want to be independent. That's a way that we do want to be independent. But at the end of the day, if we need help, we just want to be able to not feel like a burden or feel ashamed or guilt because of that. So I feel like going forward, let you guys know that You guys let me know if you guys want a part 2 to this video. I really enjoy making this video. To anyone out there, I hope that you know, get through this. Like, you're gonna get through this. I pray that, you know, you stay strong and stay uplifted. You know, I pray that you know, pray, you know, do whatever you need to do to get through it, to cope through this and heal through this. I will be making more videos on HS in general, and I just pray that, you know, you just keep on going and that you understand that you are here for a reason. Like, you are loved, you are beautiful in every way possible. Like, God is with you and you're gonna make it. Like, I know it may seem hard every single day dealing with this condition, but we can get through it together. We're gonna get through it together, including people who don't have HS and you're watching this video. People who are maybe your caregivers, your friend, whoever it might be. You're gonna get through this as well with us. Like, we're gonna help you get through. I know it's hard to watch someone who you're close to go through HS. So at the end of the day, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching this video and tuning into this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for some bonfire and lit content. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.